What's up guys, welcome to the Comar project. Today, I'm going to show you how I installed this vinyl plank flooring in our laundry room over existing vinyl. And we're going to talk about floor preparation, what tools you need to get the job actually done, how we laid the flooring, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to do a review of the flooring in this shop and in the gym, which we installed about 10 months ago, and tell you guys how it's been holding up. So stick around and let's get this project going. Alright, so for this project, you're going to need a couple basic tools that you probably already have, or if you don't have them, you can pick them up for a couple bucks. You're going to need a tape measure, a utility knife, some sort of square or straight edge, a scraper, a chalk line to shoot your reference line, some sort of abrasive pad to help you clean, a mop, and of course cleaning solution. I'm using Profi by Johnson Diversity, which is a floor cleaner and degreaser. So I used this product on the installation in the basement. We went over concrete, and I'm gonna link that video down below so you guys can check that out after this one. Now, these are just things that I used, and you don't have to use the same exact stuff. Just know that you have to prep the floor really well so you get a good bond, and how you do it is up to you. But this is how I did it. First, you wanna prep the room by removing any floor vents that you may have, and if you have any baseboards installed, just remove the base shoe by scoring it with a knife and using a spatula or some sort of a pry bar to pull it away from the baseboard. Then remove everything else in the room, and in my case, it was the washer and dryer, which were pretty heavy, and Thor just stood around and watched. I know, it's tough. Okay, so the floor preparation is probably the most important part, because if you don't clean it really well, and it's not debris free, you're not gonna get a good bond from these planks. In my case, the flooring that we're going over is in really good shape, so we don't have to remove it and start from scratch. We just need to clean it up really well. So I poured my solution into a bucket and then used hot water with it. The hot water just breaks things up much easier. I used a microfiber mop to clean the floor, but you can pretty much use anything that you have laying around the house, just as long as it's clean. Now I had a bunch of paint splatter from when I painted the walls, and that came up easily with a combination of the mop, the sponge, and the scraper. And here you can see how well that abrasive sponge did. It actually picked up most of the paint, and where it didn't, I just used a spatula for it. In all, I think I mopped the floor 3 times to get it ready for installation, and I was ready to go. The flooring that we're using is a peel and stick vinyl plank flooring, and it's made by a company called Traffic Master, and the color that we ended up going with is gray ash, which is the same thing that we used in the gym downstairs and in my shop. So I was going to use the chalk line to get a reference line for my first row, but then I just realized that I already had a reference line from the existing flooring that was installed, and I just followed that. Typically, most walls are not going to be straight, so you don't want to reference off those. So just shoot a line and you should be good to go. So when you first pull them out of the box, you're going to see that they have a paper backing. Just peel that off and then carefully align it with your reference line on the floor. The first row is the most crucial, because if you don't get that one straight, everything is going to reference off of it and you're going to end up having some issues down the road. So if you take your time here, it's going to pay off later. Start by placing one end of the plank on the floor, aligning it with that line, and just press it down and then continue all the way through the plank. Hand pressure is all you're going to need. Your second plank butts up to the first and goes down the same way. Again, make sure you're following your reference line from the first row and just keep going. Now on the second row, you're going to have to make a cut in your first plank. So for the cut, you want to measure from the end of the plank to wherever you're going to be cutting. Go ahead and use your square to make a straight line, and then with a sharp utility knife, make a scoring line right across that plank. You don't have to go very deep with that knife, and you'll see once you start bending it, it's going to break at that cut line. Then you can cut it from the back, and you're only cutting paper at that point. These planks are super easy to cut, so just make sure you're scoring from the top, and it'll give you a nice clean cut line. Place your cut side against the wall, and make sure you're butting it nice and close to that first row, not leaving any gaps. Here, Samantha got in on the action. There's just something about laying these planks that she enjoys doing. She actually ended up doing the remainder of the room. And I was totally good with that because she's actually a lot more patient than I am and does a better job. Now if you have a carpet transition like we did here, you can actually stick your spatula underneath it and lift it up. Your flooring at that point will just slide underneath it. It's only about 1/8 of an inch thick, so you won't even notice the difference. And if you run into door frames like we did here, you can do one of 2 things. You can cut the plank around the casing or the frame of the door, or option 2, you can cut the bottom of the casing with a saw or utility knife like I did here. And again, you don't need much, just enough for that plank to slide underneath. For around the vents, just make 2 vertical cuts all the way through and then score the plank between those 2 lines and then break it off. You don't have to be perfect here because the vent's going to cover it, but get kind of close and then the vent will pop right in. So once you have your first row done, all of your doorways figured out and vents, it's just a repetitive thing at that point and a lot of fun to do. And even our animals got in on the action.
This knack for laying right where the next one goes.
Tell them to get up.
Get up. No, go out there though. Alright, stay. Look, he does the exact opposite. Come on, get out of here.
Or I should say, got in our way. But since I wasn't doing it, it was actually comical to watch the dogs and cats mess with Samantha. 36 divided by 2 is always 18. just in case you guys are wondering, it is 18. Oh! Oh god, I wish I was running slow-mo on that one. And with a little preparation and measuring, anyone can do this. Now, this video is in no way sponsored by any of these products to include the flooring. I just truly love the product and how easy the installation goes and the durability of it, which we're going to talk about at the end of this video. What did it take us? How long did it take us? An hour maybe. So honey, how easy was this?
This was pretty darn easy except for the cutting over there, that one piece.
That was a little difficult for you?
That was not fun.
Okay.
You made the wall wrong, I think. It's probably just awkward dimensions.
Oh, so it's my fault?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you recommend somebody doing this on their own without a contractor?
I would, but it's more fun with 2 people and a dog and a cat.
Okay.
At least.
Great job today. So there you go, guys. Our flooring installation in the laundry room is complete, and we couldn't be happier with the way it turned out. This product is truly awesome. It's super easy to install, and with the amount of traffic we get from our kids, the dogs, the cats, me dragging tools everywhere, spilling stuff all the time, it's holding up pretty well. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we installed this same exact flooring about 10 months ago here in the shop and in Samantha's gym. And I have spilled stuff all over it. I have dropped tools on it. I have walked all over it with God knows what on the floor, and it is holding up great. And not to mention the gym, where we've dropped weights and moved machines, and I can't tell you how satisfied we are with this floor. Now, like I said before, we are in no way sponsored by this product. We just truly love it. We have put it through the ringer with everything that we have done to it over the last 10 months. So if you guys are thinking about getting flooring like this or are on the fence about it, I hope you got something out of this video. This was just our experience, what worked and what didn't work for us, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those down in the comments. I answer every question to the best of my ability. I'm not an expert in any means, but I've done this 3 times, and hopefully I can pass on my knowledge to you guys. So if you really liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I can keep making these videos for you guys in the future. Thank you so much for joining me in my experience. I will see you guys next time.